Hello everyone, this is Rajesh Pichaimani and I'm a solutions architect at AWS. In this session, I'm going to walk you through the process of automatically tagging the workloads with AWS config. So let's get this started. So we have a very simple agenda here. I want to introduce the blog post tagging workloads with config and then walk through the actual steps live in action and then finally conclude this with the references. Okay. So this blog post has been created and authored by my couple of my colleagues in early 2023. This is to help our customers to automatically identify the necessary tags and then remediate them based on whatever is specified. This is done proactive approach where you can set this at the and as a one-time effort, and then on an ongoing basis, this automatic process will take care of the remediation. However, this example provided in the blog post gives takes EC2 as an example here. However, if the customer has different types of resources, there might be a minor modification needed to be done in the files, respective files. Okay, so let's get this started. I'm going to switch the screens here to walk through this in my console, and then we will wrap it up with some references. So the blog post that I'm mentioning here is this one. Um, the link will also be provided here. What this means is, why do we need this? Why is this so important? Why tagging is so important? It helps the customers in several ways. The first one is in the cost allocation and budgeting. The second one is understanding from an audit perspective, and from maintenance and operationalization as well. From the cost and the finance budgeting, we will tag the resources with the respective department, cost allocation center, or the workload, the environment, so on and so forth. So somebody from the cloud financial management team can pull up the reports based on the cost, the tags that are spent. So they can actually slice and analyze the data, meaning which resources are consumed by which department, how much has been used, which resources or workloads are in development environment, etc. So that's one use case of it. The second one is for management and operationalizing. For example, if you want to take some backups, you can identify or group the set of resources that needs to be backed up on a regular basis. Some of them will have to be backed up on a much more different periodicity, so to speak. Some will once in a day, another one will once in a week, etc. So instead of going after each and every resource per se, if you group them in a proactive manner, the backup procedures can be done automatically based on the tags. And likewise for operationalizing, if you want to um, send some patch updates to a group of compute instances, you can do so based on the tags as well. So these are some of the commonly used scenarios where tags can come of great help. And that's why we are putting much emphasis in the automation and a proactive approach, set and forget it. Okay. In this blog post, it goes through several prerequisites here and also uses several services. For example, AWS config, systems manager, and the AWS organization. Okay, and also enabling config in all the member accounts as well is the first step as a part of prerequisites, and gathering some information about the management account information, list of member accounts, and a simple storage service bucket, S3 bucket to create with. So I will switch to the console here and show a very high level peek of how this is all set up. This particular account that you're seeing in the screen, I'm in the management account. and it has one organization unit and one member account within that. This is taken for a very simplistic scenario to walk through the blog post setup here. Okay. Going back into this section, first one is deploying the role, IAM role in through CloudFormation. There are 4 CloudFormation scripts that will be used during this course of the blog post. The first one is cf-iam.yaml, run automation runbook, conformance pack.map, and finally the organization conformance pack. Okay. So the links are already provided in the main page here. So let's start with the first one. This is the cf.iam.yaml file. What it essentially does is it provides a necessary role for the systems manager to reach out to and for remediation purposes. Again, this blog post walks through for the EC2 instance and provides follows the principle of least privilege. So such a restrictive permission is given for the SSM to go ahead and remediate them. So this is the first YAML file. The second one will be introduced as we go along. Okay, so I'm going to the Visual Studio Code where the YAML file has been downloaded. In terms of updates to this YAML page, YAML file, nothing is needed as of now. We can use it as it is. Okay. How to deploy this? We go to the CloudFormation in the management account. There are 2 parts to it. First, we will have to run the same CloudFormation template in the stack set for the member accounts and repeat the same thing in the stack for the management account. Okay. So as you are seeing here, the stack set IAM role for remediation has already been created and uploaded. In the interest of time, certain activities have been already created, but we will walk you through. So people who want to follow this blog post can do so easily. Okay, the way how to go about it: create the stack set, upload the template file, choose the YAML file, so here is the YAML file. Click next, give a name here. Click next, next, and select the region. And finally, acknowledge and then submit it. I'm going to refrain from submitting because this has already been created in this account. So this is to illustrate the walkthrough. Okay. So once that has been done, and you will be seeing the successful information of deploying this stack set. After it has been created, we will have to do this same thing for at the stack level. This is for the management account. And as you're seeing here, the stack conformance pack v2 has been created. Sorry, stack IAM role for remediation has already been created and completed. Exactly same step, just a different name to it and then completion. Okay. Once this has been done, we will go to this back to the blog post. So this section is being completed through what I have mentioned here. The second one is creating an automation runbook that can be used for the member accounts. For the purposes of this section, we will have to use the automation runbook.yaml file, which is opened here. What it essentially does is this is the main meat of doing the remediation. Okay, it identifies what tags need to be checked and identified as being non-available or non-compliant. Once that first stage is done, then it will use those resources, identify the resources which are non-compliant, and go back and execute them to make it compliant. So that's what's this section, this file does. Okay, so no changes needs to be done here. I want to bring back and show you this runbook information. This is a file that was uploaded and opened it for your convenience. We will do the same thing for going through the same steps. So this will be the stack conformance pack v2, stack remediation runbook. Okay. And you're seeing a successful event out of it. Create complete stage. Okay. Once this is done, we will have to go to Systems Manager, AWS Systems Manager, Documents, Owned by Me. You will start seeing this particular document runbook created. Click on this. Click on Details. And this runbook have to be shared with all the member accounts. So whatever you're seeing here in the private section is one of the member accounts, which will indicate that go after these member accounts and the resources under these member accounts to actually do the remediation portion. Okay. So let me go back to this blog post again. So this is what we have done in this section. Here comes a third section of the blog post. Deploy the conformance pack in the management account. For this purpose, we are going to use the dashdoc.map.yaml file. This is the page that is already created and kept. There are a couple of information that needs to be edited in this YAML file. The first one is the tag key and the tag value. It depends upon the customer's use case or the business requirement. There can be several tags. One can be, for example, tag one key can be cost center, and a value can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another one can be department and then the department name. Another one can be application and the application name, or even the stages, environments. It can be development, non-prod, or production environments. So any kind of tag key and value can be there. In just a second, I will show you the changes in the Visual Studio Code. So after this has been created, the second information that needs to be edited in this document is the management account ID on line number 49 and line number 70. In these two locations, the information has to be changed. The file has to be saved and uploaded to the S3 bucket. Let me show you that. The third file, doc-map.yaml file. Here in this case, for illustration, I'm going to say key as map-migrated and an arbitrary value. Line 49 is the management account information, and then the line 70 is another management information. 3 sections, 3 changes in the file, created, updated, and then uploaded to the S3 bucket here. So I've created a bucket and then uploaded the file. This is currently available here. Okay. So in the blog post, going back to the blog post, in the third section of the blog post, the first half, there are 2 steps here. We just completed the first section, uploading to editing the necessary information, and then finally uploading it back to the file. And after uploading back to the S3 bucket, we will save this information for the upcoming information. So this brings to the second part of the third section in the blog post, which will use the organization conformance pack. I have opened this file already, and here a couple of changes have to be done. The first one is the location of the S3 bucket where we have uploaded the file, the previous file. The second change that needs to be done is the list of accounts that needs to be excluded from this remediation process. What do we mean by that? Say, for example, in this organization, there are 10 member accounts, and currently there's a need to do this remediation, tagging remediation for 5 accounts. So we will have to exclude the rest of the 5, right? So those rest 5 item account information have to be fed in here. Anything that is not listed here would be included as a part of the remediation. Okay. In our case, there is only one member account, and so I'm going to include that for remediation, and that's why I will have to keep this empty. Going back to the pack, so I have this bucket URI, and then leaving the account list blank. Okay. What we will have to do is we will have to go back to the CloudFormation on the stacks. This is all in the management account. Again, going through the process, upload the file, organization pack. So in this, now we can say a new. Since we have already excluded or made the list empty here, that's why you are seeing this excluded accounts empty. Otherwise, it would have been listed here. Go through next. Next. And then finally submit it. Again, we have already completed this portion. Stack conformance pack V2. It's been create complete stage. Once this has been completed successfully, what we will be seeing in the management account is this one. We will have to go to AWS config, conformance pack, and you will start seeing this dashboard indicating that it has been completed. Okay. Mine has run successfully, but then there is not enough information. That's why it's showing insufficient data. But you will see an example in this blog post telling it'll be 100% compliance. Okay. So now that we have done all the possible information instructing the system to automatically go ahead and identify the resources for which the corresponding tags has not been entered yet, and the system will automatically take care of tagging those resources. So I will also show you how it will look like after successful tagging. Okay. So in this management account, I have created an EC2 instance. At the time of creation, I did not have any additional tags other than the default name tag. Okay. However, the automation process kicked in, indicating the first half, indicating the appropriate expected tag was not there. And so it went ahead in identifying and tagging them. So that's why you are seeing this map.-migrated and this arbitrary value. This has been applied back to this EC2 instance as is expected out of it. When creating this EC2 instance, I did not have it. And then you are seeing the after the fact right now. Okay. So going back to this blog post, this indicates the cleanup here. What it suggests is while during testing, it might need a couple of iterations. And after we are done with this comfortable, then we can push this concept into production. So all your resources from now on, or from whenever this automation had kicked in, you will be seeing your compute instances tagged in an automated fashion. In real life, there will be many more resources that needs similar exercise as well. So what we will have to do is come back and make changes in this YAML file for 2-3 things: for the SSM to provide sufficient permission for that particular resource, whether it is RDS, S3, or whatever the case may be, and then the resource information to say that go ahead and start doing the remediation on these resources. Right? So that information is fed, intelligence is fed into this particular file for future and scalable use. I hope you found this useful. Let me go back to the screen and complete the session here. So in references, we are sharing here all the 4 files, the automation files. Again, these are linked in the blog post as well, but I wanted to leave away with the information that these are the main files that will be used for this automation tagging exercise. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you found this session useful. Thanks a lot. Bye.